Hey guys, it's Christian from Lost in Discovery, and I am back with the man himself. My dad is back. He's conquered book 2. How you going, Dad?
Yeah, I'm going real good, son. Thanks for making me read 48 hours and 13 minutes of Words of Radiance. It's done, it's complete, and book 2 is now done and dusted.
Expectations going into Words of Radiance. Did Way of Kings raise the bar?
Way of Kings was basically the setup, all right? So it took a long time to get to the end of the Way of Kings, and there was no payoff. All right, so the
payoff?
No.
Kaladin jumping across, Dalinar taking him in,
Yeah.
Shallan admitting she killed her dad. No payoff? Okay.
No, but you knew that there had to be more. You needed at least book 2 to have some payoff, and I must admit, yeah, there were some pretty big payoffs. Yes, I think the payoff was a lot better than what I expected, so yeah, he's done well.
Just so you know, anyone who's watching, we're going to talk full spoilers for Words of Radiance, so if you have not read the book, now come back once you've read it, because we're going to talk about all the major plot points that have happened to see Dad's reaction. First thing that I knew Dad was going to have so much to say about was Yasna's death right at the beginning of the book. What did you think, Dad, when that scene happened?
With Yasna, I felt that her character was far too important to kill off right at the beginning. And so I kept asking you, Yasna's alive, isn't she? Yeah, I know she's alive. And you'd give me that, look into the distance of, yeah, I'm not going to tell you, just read it and find out.
Yeah, Raffo, Dad, Raffo.
It was believable at the time. And then you sort of say, well, it's gone on longer than I expected, so maybe, yep, Yasna is gone. In the back of my mind, I always knew, especially in fantasy, which, I'm now starting to develop a bit of a taste for, nothing is final. Nothing is final in fantasy, so...
Well, some things are final, but there's
Isn't
more...
there a final fantasy?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
He really leaves you hanging there. Do you think it was a good choice to take Yasna out of the story for this book?
Well, I thought so, because obviously, the arc of the story is all about Shallan and her backstory, and the fact that you knew that she admitted she killed her father, but you didn't know under what circumstances, and so you were always looking forward to going back to find out exactly what had actually happened. When you found out that she'd actually murdered her mother as well as her father, you sort of went, whoa!
What do you think of Shallan now that you've seen like a lot of her childhood and how she's come to where she is now?
Well, Shallan had a lot of adversity. Like, obviously being born a redhead, sets you back.
Oh my God.
You can edit this part out. Yes, she did have a lot of adversity as a child and had to put up with a lot, and obviously carrying the burden of this secret to where she is now would have posed a great mental stress on her. So finding out how the story was developed and how brutal her father was, and some of the horrible things that he did to her and to his ex-wife and servants and things like that, and then the way that she killed him, that was actually quite spine-tingling when she's sort of choking him and singing a lullaby to him.
All right, how about our main man, Dad? Kaladin. What did you think?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Lopen. Gacho! He's the main man.
Yeah.
He's the main man. And Rock with the stew. Give me the stew. Nah, Kaladin, no. He's come into his own. Everyone loves Kaladin.
Yeah.
You can't say anything bad about Kaladin. You know that even when Sando is trying to make him out as a bad guy by thinking, I think the king needs to die. And you sort of go, you're the hero of the whole series.
Yeah.
You can't be a bad guy. So, but, there were times there where you sort of thought that, he's talking to Moash, and Moash put on a really good case about, how cruel he was that his grandparents had died, and how they suffered and all of this. And so you sort of thought, well, maybe you do need to sacrifice. I think he used the analogy of something wrong with your arm or leg. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice that to save the rest of the body. And so you sort of thought, oh, maybe he might be considering killing the king. But you knew that he wouldn't do it.
For a bit there, I thought it could be interesting for Kaladin if he did something like that.
Yeah, but he couldn't live with himself. He wouldn't be able to live with himself.
He can't live with himself on a normal
Yeah, I know. That's right. No, he's too good a guy, and he'll always do the right thing. Always do the right thing.
What would you say was like the top Kaladin moment for you in this book?
The top Kaladin moment is when he was helping Adolin in the unfair fight against 4 shard bearers, and then obviously they whip their butts and stuff like that. And then just when everything's going to plan, he then goes and challenges Amaram and just completely stuffed up the whole scenario there.
I was with him though. I was feeling the adrenaline. I said, yeah, challenge him. Challenge him.
You would.
Call him out in front of everyone.
I was just a little bit disappointed with Kaladin, where him and Shallan are in the chasms, and there's a little bit of a banter, a little bit of tension happening there.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking, oh, don't turn into a love story, And there were sort of a few bits of dialogue where you sort of thought, he's jealous of Adolin because he's starting to feel something for Shallan, but I'm glad it didn't develop any more than just some flirty banter, I suppose.
Yeah, and it was good for Kaladin to see that not all the light eyes are, pampered and have this perfect lifestyle and haven't had any adversity.
Yeah.
Because he starts to see there's way more to Shallan.
Yeah.
When she makes that speech about not being okay and stuff, it kind of clicks for him.
Yeah.
So it's good for him to see that other side.
Yeah.
And what did you think when you found out that Adolin was in prison as well, by choice?
Oh, Adolin. Yeah, well, Adolin's gone from this, pretty boy prince to like a more developed character in this second book. Like you have more respect for Adolin as a person. First book, he's basically a playboy, using and discarding women, and now he's sort of a little bit more settled, a bit more mature, and you sort of think, yeah, he does have a conscience and does understand what Kaladin has done for him, and so he's grown as a character in the book. Yeah, that friendship of the three with Shallan, Adolin, and Kaladin, that they're basically like the three musketeers now.
Yeah.
So
was it fun seeing them all finally interact after a book where they're all separated in a way?
Yes, no, having them together and seeing the interplay of their conversations and the fact that they all do respect each other and they all get on, and the jokes are quite good as well.
So Dad, what did you think of present day Shallan getting in with the Ghost Bloods, meeting Padden and meeting Vale? Like, what do you think's going on with Shallan?
Well, obviously this book is all about Shallan, and in the first book she's pretty much hanging out with Yasna, trying to be like Yasna, trying to use Yasna, trying to steal from Yasna, and was a very naive kind of character. Now she's got Patton, she's turning into Vale, she's soul casting, she's
light weaving.
You can tell I've paid attention in this book now. So
I make sure.
Yeah. So she's got all this toolbox of powers that you sort of think, wow, she's got a lot going for her, and she's only just discovering all of her powers as well. It makes her a much more interesting character because of all the things that she now is able to do. Yeah, so when she gets caught in a situation, you sort of think, how's she going to get out of this? Well, let me just look into my bag of tricks, and I'll just turn into Vale, or I'll create an illusion, or whatever. And so no, she's really developed her character in this.
I love all that with Shallan, because when you read this book, you kind of realise in The Way of Kings there wasn't actually that much magic.
No.
When you think back, there was almost none, really. But Dad, if you had to choose, Padden or Syl? Who's the better friend, Dad?
Listen, Patton talks like this in the book, which is quite funny. But no, Syl is a legend. Like, I love Syl. She's probably one of my all-time favourite characters, as well as Lopen, and and I also think Rock. The boys,
the Bridgeford boys,
but not Moash. Not Moash anymore.
Yeah.
But Tef's pretty cool as well.
You've been compared to Teft in some of the comments, actually.
Hey.
You and Lopen.
I thought I was more of an Adolin kind of guy.
Oh, but
Well, this is Renarin, my son.
Renarin has a lot more going on, just like me, Dad.
Yeah, that's
lot more than meets the eye. All right, how about we talk about Dalinar? We didn't get too much of him in this book, but what did you think about what we did get?
Yeah, well, Dalinar, again, he's gone from the crazy uncle who's having all these visions during high storms, and people are sort of thinking, ooh, a little bit loopy.
Yeah.
Until in the book 2, obviously you find out that he's one of the good guys. Bring the Knights Radiance together and all of that. So but again he has respected Kaladin and has given him free rein to be part of his guards and stuff like that. So I think he's placed a lot of trust in Kaladin because he can see that Kaladin is doing it for the right reasons, not for any ulterior motives.
How frustrated were you when Dalinar was buddying up with Amaram and saying he's a good bloke?
Yeah, I know. Like, all the bad characters show their true colours, all right? So I think he wanted to believe Kaladin at the start, and he sort of said, well, I'm looking for evidence. I've got all these people. They're all on Amaram's side. No one's on your side. But, I'll just keep it locked away in the back of my mind, and I'll wait for things to play out. And of course, with Amaram, when he finally, gets caught out.
Wasn't it so good when he said, I think an apology is overdue.
Yeah.
And then Kaladin is about to speak, and he's like, not you, son.
Not you.
Not you, son. This guy.
Yeah, that's right. So,
so good. Adolin believed Kaladin straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as Kaladin said it, Aelin's like, yeah, Amaram's a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
Did you expect Zeth to rock up like less than halfway through the book?
Yeah, well, Zeth, again, I feel so sorry for Zeth.
He's a tragic character.
That's it. His whole life was based on a lie. The fight scenes involving him, fantastic. Like it was like he was going to be immortal.
Yeah.
So, but he might still be.
How about we move to the other side of the conflict? What did you like? What did you think about hearing from the Parshendi? Because we got a lot of that in this book with Eshonai.
The guy that I felt sorry for, obviously from the Parshendi, was
Shen.
R'lain.
Yeah, he's in a tough situation, isn't he?
Yeah, because I think he's a good guy, but obviously with the Parshendi, they're enemies of the humans and stuff like that. But Eshonai sort of turned out to be pretty badass kind of character. It was quite interesting to sort of finally understand how the Parshmen, the Parshendi,
all their different forms and stuff like that.
Different forms, and then Voidbringers.
Yes. Yeah.
So working all that out, that was finally explained.
Just to clear it up a bit. Because that was such a question mark.
Yeah, because I kept asking you, what's a Voidbringer? What's that got to do with the Parshmen? What's that got to do with the Parshendi? Why are these in the dull form and this form, and then there's the storm form and,
The Sandalanche. Did it top the Sandalanche from Way of Kings? Was it a better finale?
I think so. There was a lot more action. That's
way more action.
That was one thing that I did comment. That the first book, it was a very, very slow burn.
Yeah.
And in the second one, there were a lot more things happening. And when it came to the climax, it exceeded all the expectations. The best part, you still haven't asked me what the best part of the book was.
I did.
Did you?
The arena fight?
No.
What?
It was Lopen getting his arm back. His arm's starting to grow back at the end of the book.
What do you think of that, though?
Oh, mate, he'll be high-fiving everybody now. So, good old Lopen.
I love that moment where Navani and Dalinar are so worried about Elhokar, like, where's the king? Where have you put him?
Yeah.
And then Kaladin's like, place where no
That's
one's
right. No one's going to find him.
And he's just smiling. And then it cuts to the Herdazian family spoon-feeding Elhokar.
That's it. He's got a lot of cousins. He comes from a big family.
He does. So good. What are you thinking for Oathbringer, Book 3? So they've found the ancient city, this giant city that they've kind of got the portal to. We've got Shallan. We've got Dalinar with the Stormfather, Kaladin, and Renarin at this point.
Yep.
That are Knights Radiant. The Everstorm has come.
That's it.
And all the Parshmen are going to turn into these, Stormform, crazy Parshendi. How's the story going to go next book?
I don't know.
Great. Wow.
I don't know.
What do you want? What do you want to see then in the third book? Like, what are you wanting?
Well, from what I am anticipating,
Yeah.
it's now going to be Dalinar's backstory.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to see maybe a different side of Dalinar when he was younger compared to what he is now.
Yeah.
And so there might be a few skeletons in the closet, a few dark secrets, a few things. So you haven't told me anything about what's going to happen. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing what Dalinar was like.
You might find out about
That's right.
Yeah.
His wife Voldemort, the person whose name can't be mentioned. But then we've forgotten about Wit.
Oh yeah, Wit.
We've forgotten about Wit. He's talking to frogs. He's talking to lizards. Talking to inanimate objects, and then all of a sudden, Yasna appears, and they walk off into the sunset. So it'll be interesting to see what Wit does next book.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're going to talk about.
What?
Sadius. Adolin.
Right in the eye.
Yeah.
Right in the eye.
Right in the eyeball.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that, Dad?
Oh, sensational.
Did he get what was coming to him?
Yeah. Stuff him. Like that was. Yeah. Get rid of him. Get rid of Amaram. But obviously, you need to keep some villains for the next book to. To hate.
Well, I think we've covered, a lot about the book. Obviously, we can't talk about every single moment or every single character, but I hope you enjoyed this chat with Dad.
And for all my fans out there, I'm sorry it's taken so long. But, I do have other things to do in my life, but I did enjoy this book. So I believe the next one is like a little novella before I go on to book three.
But yes, leave a comment, tell us what you thought of this video. Keep telling my dad how young he looks. He'll love that. And we'll see you all in the next videos. Thanks for watching. See you
later. Bye.
Dad, come on, mate.
Is that all right?
Good effort, Dad. Good effort.
You got enough to edit?
Plenty.